Hello everyone, this is the GamingGiga and welcome to another episode of Katawa Shoujo. I almost said Heartache 101, don't ask me why. In the last episode, we got to the game of Risk, and in this episode, we shall be making the choice. The choice is, and I think I know which one I should go with. If I'm playing, it seems like I'm playing defensively, so I shouldn't say it's a trap because. No, you won't. She's like, she has a point. I should attack. But then that's what she's expecting. But then she's also going to be expecting that I'm going to be playing defensively because I thought that she knows that I know that she knows that I should attack aggressively. I can go into an infinite loop. Literally, I can go into an infinite loop, just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to say she has a point. Attack aggressively. She's either really mocking me or trying to trick me. I have nothing else to lose, so I might as well try something different. If I spread out my forces and try to control more territories, I can recoup the advantage. Sorry about that, guys. My dad had to talk to me for like 2 seconds, and I had to force him to leave. And now my dad's a little mad at me. Whatever. Shizune seems to be focused on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my my hold on continents to gain more small countries. It's worth a shot. Mutant Insider ends up losing the game anyway. And actually, if you chose to be more defensive, you would still lose. So it really didn't matter which way you went. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration. I win, yay! There's no need to translate that, it was pretty clear. Don't look so sad, you were giving it your best, that's what I thought. Sometimes your best isn't good enough though. If anyone knows that, it's me. You did very well for someone who just learned how to play today. You attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. That's a very daring move. Hikchan's impressed. The mark of great people is that they are daring and that they can follow through. You're already halfway there. Isn't that great, Hikchan? That isn't enough though. Just potential isn't enough. There's no point to potential if you don't take the first step. There's no point to that if you don't keep going. I want to see more. You're right, Shikchan, but that's so demanding. Shizune leans forward, suddenly looking a lot less playful and more like the serious person I expected from her to be from the start. Huh. Who is that character? Okay. Hikchan, would you like to join the student council? She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day of school, so I'm hesitant about committing to do something so early. I haven't even taken a look at other clubs yet. Sorry, guys, I had to double check something, and I had to look at the website to see if there was anything about a character I may have missed. I think there might have been a character I may have missed talking about, but I think it's only because we haven't heard her name yet, and I don't think we're going to, because I think I'm switching who I'm actually going to go after. To spend time with Shinzu doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Maybe I'll get back to you on it. Okay, Hikchan, but I hope you're not just saying that so we don't feel bad. No, not really. No, really. Really? Hick-chan, if you're going to say that, saying that it is definitely the truth and there can't be any mistaking it. I know. I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Smiles at that in a mischievous way that looks like twisting the knife in the wound of my loss. I take a glance at the clock of the wall and realize I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Scratches his head and gestures at Michan. How hard it can be determined whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. I don't see one. Unless it's behind me or to the side of me, I don't see one. It should be unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shi-chan. We think the library is open. It's still on the second floor. You can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No, thanks. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. One flight of stairs up and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor. Wide, of course, and plain like only a hallways can be. If it's a carbon copy, then literally you could go up to the next one and be like, am I on the second one? Go up, am I on the second one again? What the heck? Infinite loop. Or something like that. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. Classrooms are marked with signs which classes they belong to, but then there's a plethora of others unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hall? I bet on the ladder and choose my direction at random. After turning around the corner, an unmarked building, because it's not closed. It's not open either. It's just barely ajar. Barely ajar so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be violently open, and while is one not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it seems that someone is inside, and I can ask for directions. No matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken out from my mind. So much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks open, as if groaning from a deep sleep, though is much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head ever further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible to meek hello on my lips, it is quickly snatched away. Here is my second favorite character in the game. This is not what I was expecting. I mindlessly left the door open to its full content, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently pushes down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Hello there, may I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movement of her lips seemed to break out the silence rather than the words. Otherwise, it's a soft, measured voice that reminds me of being separated from the room itself. It's not only if she's likely the tallest girl I've laid eyes on, but even among the most foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distant. Hi, sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response to speaking. Every action she takes feels as if she's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpectedly, considering that I am intruding upon her. Thanks. I step towards another seat opposite of her. The girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling me that and the slight cloudiness in her eyes means she must be at least partially blind like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have that detectable accent either. Doesn't have any detectable accent, so I'm guessing she must be half Japanese. Of course! As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air is of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so different from the student council office. I care to take you new to Yamaku? Yeah, I am. I just transferred in yesterday. Ugh. Gotta learn how to speak. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match with the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greetings. One which hastened to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Sato, pleased to meet you. And here is my second favorite character, Lily. This is the character I was gonna originally go for. So Lily's description says, blind since birth, Lily is caring, responsible and friendly. The perfect foil to Hanako, her best friend, whom she shares an almost mother-daughter relationship with. In addition to her free time often being spent drinking tea alongside her companion, in class she is a diligent student with her sense of confidence, serving her well in her role as class representative of class 232. Yep. So this is Lily, Hanako's best friend, pretty much. She is one of my favorite characters. Hisayo Nakai. She is my second favorite. My favorite we've seen, but we've never talked to yet. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. Ugh. She gives me a kind nod, taking the result in stride. Without a word, she steps off in a chair, prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along the shelf. A brush there, a brush here, a brush there. Her hand lightly, softly touching the side of whichever container she is pouring into. It seems to be a process she followed dozens of times before. I lean sideways to see around her back. She seems to use her long, dainty fingers to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have a workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work. She seems pleased to follow the correct process of the preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silence observation. I should probably drink some water before. Sorry about that. Yeah, if you use the scroll wheel, you can look through text. So she's there, she's gone. She's there, she's gone. She's there, she's gone. She's there, she's gone. She disappears. It's just kind of a shortcut. If you don't, sorry about that. My microphone. What's it called? It's just another way to play. Just use the mouse, or if you want to use the keyboard, you can press spacebar to advance the text. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizumi and me, some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods. A small metallic tapping comes from the teacup, indicating it's being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakami as most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Moto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. I think I need to get some water. Maybe some soda. And I need to do another thing after this video. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Soto. It tastes really nice. She smiles quickly, waves her hands in front of her face. Lily, please, there's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her extendedly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try ask her about herself, as it does seem as if she's catering me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. That's correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the fox paws looking at her face, though she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of a place behind my school that I like to have at lunch. I come here fairly often during lunch. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerism seems to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a least biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are track and field, which it uses the field and near the school during lunch times, the baseball club and the book club in the room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as the art and music clubs. At time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushed into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rules as my old ones. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. That's good. Good. That's a relief. I've really let my guard down around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally drink it as Lily does the same. This is like one of my favorite images from the game. I love this image. It's so calming. I mean, if Hisayo at least was smiling and looking at her, it'd be such a cute moment. As I look over the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has distinctively orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Huh? The time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. Oh, it just looks like the sun's starting to set. If it seems to come as a surprise for her, I guess she must have lost track of time. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly move to allay her concern. Oh no, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? I'm going to think of it. Asked Chizune when I told her the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. Yeah, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays. Thanks when what confirms. Well, it's enough time to get there. I might get going in class. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. Smiles, gives a deep nod. Her hand still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. I'll come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Well, unless my navigational skills fails me, which they seem to have a habit of doing. That's all right. I was gonna go talk to the librarian there. In any case, I can introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, that'd be great. Thanks. Actually, that image is what I like. Him smiling, she's smiling, everything like that. She stands up to follow me. She takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped into the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily looks much thinner and longer. His must have been for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter into the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't seem to take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. Gives an appreciative smile at the gesture. Taking the lead as we file in. To the left is a wooden library counter with the library probably being on the right. It easily dwarfs my school's library with the distinct smell of old books, giving the place an almost old world air. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students here, considering the time. It isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or in the dorms. Yuko, where are you? She says it in a thin air, since the library doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Ah! The origin apparently the librarian quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. I don't know if it's just me, but like the librarian's design kind of looks too different from Lily's, but maybe that's just my perspective. Oh, sorry guys, I have to change my position again. I'm changing my position a lot today. I might as well just go get a headset instead of having a stand mic and a pop filter. Maybe I'll invest in one of those. The origin apparently librarian, rigid attention, read that. Hi Lily, how can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual when she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon, what just happened now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing, I just hit my head. I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me. Are you right? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's alright. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She quick to reverse Lily's apology, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could have been in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yes, worse things could have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, repet with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look. She seems to fit a library, fits a library pretty well, perfectly. Perfectly. Lily, did you get my message? Message. Oh, of the 2 imported books that arrived? Oh, right. They finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but that's better. But admits the celebration partially for managing to change the topic. I'm sure she noticed me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Do you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. She seems way too quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hasayo, a new student. Hasayo, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Yuko is one that I'm not gonna read for the fact we're gonna learn a little bit more of her later down this we'll learn about her a little later. Hasayo, pleased to meet you. Meet you too, Hasayo. For a second, visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget. Yuko often arranges to import books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hasayo about the library? Lily, innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what be interested in. There's too much responsibility. How it's any responsibility at all, I don't get. But her objection is so insincere, so sincere. I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But so there are a lot of books in Braille here. I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work at least partially, as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Well, I think about a third or a fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense, given the blind students that be here. If it's not only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we got a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than on my salary. Oop, dropped my controller. And then I have to organize and shelve them all. It's so troublesome, and they weigh so much. I wish I could quit this job. Very awkward silence followed the realization of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then, if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Yeah, doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's all right with you. I need to get some water. My first impressions were all right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I study the spines of books in random order, occasionally setting one out, reading the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. In a moment, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large printed and braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is, a library. It's as if the calm mood from my room I had tea with Lily in sunk with us here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach out the end of the aisles and find a collection of desks set up for study for personal reading. Going a little further, although I discovered a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd student sitting in the desk, either reading or stealthily sleeping. The back is pretty much deserted. I glance around. I see someone who I recognize sitting on one of the several bean bags. And let's meet my favorite character, but the character we're not going after. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the class earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay down my books aside. The girl starts looking scaredly at me from underneath the fringe, beneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see a part of her face, at least a third of it, not half, is pretty badly scarred. My eyes immediately dawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second, I am shocked and divert my eyes to the book in her hand before I realize that looking away probably only made it worse. This is one thing I've never said. I've never done this one, and I won't in this one because I don't want to be. I just don't want to be hi, and then have her scare her off. I just want to be like kind and sincere. So what I'm gonna go do is say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's okay. The girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. Do you mind if I sit here? She seems to be very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit, but she nods just a little. Oh, okay. I take the seat next to her, and she hides herself beneath her book. Life of Pi. Never heard of it. They just made a movie on it a year ago, I think. Something like that. So, sorry about for starting you on, Sayo. She's looking for my book, stalling a little bit before replying. I know. We are in the same class. Speech is stifled and so quiet that it's barely audible even in the still library. Somehow I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako. I'm Hanako. Yes. Meet my favorite character, Hanako. She doesn't really give her full name. So her full name is Ikezawa. Hanako Ikezawa is her full official name. I really don't want to spoil hers because hers really does pertain to a good chunk of their side of Lily's and Hanako's story, so I'm not going to explain her little bio, but I'm just gonna say it's a pretty dramatic story that happens to her. And actually, I'm gonna leave it off there. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, I'd prefer if you'd like and subscribe to me. So in the next episode, guys, we'll continue on. We'll talk to more with talk to my favorite character in this game. Alright, guys, let me save the game, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Alright, I am the GamingGiga, and take it easy.